It's the best time of the year, college football bowl season. And today, guys, we are kicking off one of our favorite things to do each season, and that is predict every single bowl game. Yes, we are predicting every single college football bowl game. Now, of course, we couldn't do individual videos for every single bowl game, every 40-something odd bowl games, but we're going to predict every single one. Our first two videos are going to kind of be grouped together like this, a handful of the minor bowl games all put together on a board, and then we will do individual videos for some of the bigger games going forward. But as promised, every single one will be predicted. You'll get analysis on every single one, and if you want the spread pick, how to bet these games, we have our holiday special over on the gridironexpert.com. Go check it out. For just $29.99, you get the spread pick for every college football bowl game and every NFL playoff game as well when that time rolls around in January. So do not miss out on that offer again. Only at the gridironexpert.com, link down in the description below. But again, we are so glad you could join us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, and let's get ready for bowl season. So let's dive into this analysis, guys. Let's go through them rather quickly. Bowl season kicks off this coming Friday in the Bahamas. No better place to start, right? With Miami, Ohio, and UAB. So pretty sweet gig for these two schools out of the MAC and the Conference USA. Both teams were expected to be contenders in their conference this year. They kind of disappointed a little bit, especially UAB, a team that many thought could maybe make the Conference USA Championship, failed to do so. But I do believe the Blazers are going to win this game. I believe they're going to win it comfortably. UAB owns the edge everywhere. The Blazers average 30.6 points per game. The Red Hawks average 20.3. It's a 10.3 differential there. The Blazers average 442 yards per game on offense compared to Miami, Ohio's 309 total yards per game. The big number that stands out to me is the rushing number. UAB averages 243 rushing yards per game, led by Dwayne McBride, who as of this video is going to play in the bowl game. He's rushed for over 1,700 yards and 19 touchdowns this year. I expect him to literally carry UAB to victory over Miami, Ohio to kick off bowl season. The Blazers will finish 7-6 behind the running game of Dwayne McBride. Over in the Lending Tree Bowl, we have Rice in Southern Miss, and I would say it's probably okay if you miss this one. This is going to be a pretty ugly, relatively low-scoring game. Rice, though, is in their first bowl game since 2014. They actually come in at 5-7, but they get that last slot due to the APR, due to the academics. So it does pay off to do well academically. Rice, a great academic institution. They get in at 5-7, first bowl appearance again since 2014. Southern Miss is in a bowl game in year 2 under their new head coach, Will Hall. Ultimately, guys, I really like Southern Miss in this game. Defense is going to be the theme of this video here, and that's definitely the theme for the Golden Eagles. They have 39 sacks on the year and 16 interceptions. Rice is defensively giving up 33.8 points per game and giving up 167 rushing yards per game. So Rice defensively not nearly as good as Southern Miss. Expect Frank Gore Jr., the running back for Southern Miss, who's rushed for over 1,000 yards this year, to have a pretty solid day on the ground against a very porous Rice rushing defense. It's not going to be the best game in the world, but we do expect Southern Miss to get this win over the Owls. The Frisco Bowl, North Texas and Boise State. This is going to be an interesting one as well. North Texas, of course, fired their head coach in Seth Luttrell. Boise State lost the Mountain West Championship game to Fresno State to finish the year at 9-4. So it's interesting to see here. Will North Texas be motivated? They lost their Conference USA Championship game to Texas San Antonio. Boise lost theirs to Fresno State. So 2 conference championship losers, but the Mean Green do lose their head coach coming into this game. So what's the motivation going to be like for them facing a very good Boise State team? Ultimately, while North Texas might be motivated, I don't think they're going to have enough to take down the Broncos. Here's why. Defensively, again, Boise State is elite. They're giving up just 18.5 points per game, just 281.5 total yards per game, just 120 rushing yards per game. That's the key number because the Mean Green are averaging over 200 rushing yards per game. If Boise shuts that down, it's going to put all the weight on Austin Anie's shoulder. Yes, Austin Aune for North Texas is a pretty good quarterback. He's thrown for over 3,300 yards and 32 touchdowns on the year. But I do believe Boise State makes them one-dimensional, and North Texas' defense is not that good. They're giving up 188.5 rushing yards per game. Boise is averaging 187 rushing yards per game. Assuming George Holani is good to go at running back, a guy who's rushed for over 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns on the year, Boise State should literally run away with this one against the Mean Green. Give me Boise to win the Frisco Bowl and clinch a 10-win season. Not too bad considering the start that Boise State had to the year. Myrtle Beach Bowl, another pretty nice destination for Marshall and UConn. And we got to give all the credit in the world to Jim Mora and the Huskies. UConn in their first bowl game since 2015. They have been the laughingstock of college football for years. And in year one, Jim Mora comes in there and gets them to a bowl game. Not a 5-7 bowl game, a legitimate 6-6 bowl game. That's pretty dang impressive and pretty dang special. And I think a lot of people are going to be rooting for UConn in this game, hoping that the Huskies can pull this one off. I just don't see it happening. Marshall, guys, is 4th in the country in defensive efficiency, allowing us 88.8 rushing yards per game. That's all of UConn's offense. UConn averages 195 rushing yards per game. They average 107 passing yards per game. There's no passing attack for the Huskies whatsoever. If Marshall stuffs the run, and I believe they will, UConn, who's only averaging 19.8 points per game on the year, is going to struggle to move the ball mightily. So I don't really see them having much success against one of the best defenses in the country. The record might not show it for Marshall, but they're very, very stingy. I believe the Thundering Herd get this win over UConn rather convincingly. UConn won't move the ball very well, and Marshall clinches a 9-win season in their first year in the Sun Belt. So again, not too bad for Charles Huff and the Thundering Herd. Idaho Potato Bowl. This is always fun because you get to play it on the Smurf turf. Boise State goes to Frisco. Eastern Michigan and San Jose State, they go to Boise to play in a famous Idaho Potato Bowl. This is an intriguing game, guys, because these are two teams that, historically have been really, really bad, but now have kind of found themselves a little bit. Eastern Michigan has kind of become a perennial bowl team out of the MAC. San Jose State has done pretty solid under Brent Brennan. But you look at Eastern Michigan, guys, they're still searching for their first bowl win since 1987. 1987, still searching for Eastern Michigan. They've won 4 of their last 5 games, though. And let's keep in mind the Eagles were 3 points away from beating Toledo and playing for the MAC championship game. So this Eastern Michigan team is pretty dang good. Now, the Spartans, the reason they've done so well this year, the reason they have 7 wins, is their defense. It's only allowing 20.3 points per game, but offensively, they're only averaging 92.5 rushing yards per game. The running game is non-existent for San Jose State. And Eastern Michigan's secondary is only getting up about 200 passing yards per game. So secondary for Eastern Michigan, not bad at all. That's all San Jose State's going to be able to do is throw the ball because they're not going to be able to run. I expect Eastern Michigan to crack down on the pass, pressure Chevin Cordiero at San Jose State a little bit, and the duo of Taylor Powell of Eastern Michigan and Samson Evans, who's rushed for over 1,000 yards, should do enough to wear down that San Jose State defense. I finally believe that Eastern Michigan wins their first bowl since 1987. They've come so close. A lot of close games in recent years. I think they finally break through and get that bowl win, the elusive bowl win, and they're going to do it in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Last 2 down here, guys. Liberty and Toledo, 2 8-win teams, but Liberty, guys, I think has given up, and that's why I'm all over Toledo here. I mean, you think about it. Liberty was 8-1. 8-1 after their win over Arkansas. And then they lost to UConn, they lost to Virginia Tech, and they lost by 35 points to New Mexico State. They gave up. And now Hugh Freeze is gone to Auburn. Yes, Liberty hired Jamie Chadwell. He's not going to be coaching this game. So you've lost your coach. You're playing poor football to end the year. You had all this excitement and optimism going forward. And then I think when they realized that Hugh Freeze was going to be gone, the players just kind of gave up. And you look at Toledo here, they're the MAC champions. They're the MAC champions. They had the best defense in the MAC, allowing just 332 total yards per game, only 146 on the ground. They have a veteran quarterback in DeQuan Finn, who's thrown for over 2,100 yards, 22 touchdowns, and also rushed for over 600 yards and 8 touchdowns. I look at a Toledo team here who's looking like, hey, we just won the MAC. We're looking for a 9-win season, and Liberty's just like, hey, we're ready for this season to end so we can go ahead and move into the Jamie Chadwell era. It just doesn't add up to me. I think Toledo owns all the motivation here. They're ready for this game. The defense is going to stifle Liberty's offense. Give me the Rockets to win and cap off a 9-win season. And then finally down here, guys, in the New Orleans Bowl, Western Kentucky, South Alabama, a 10-2 South Alabama team. Give the Jaguars some credit. This will be a fun offensive game. The Hilltoppers averaging 36.1 points per game. South Alabama averaging 32 points per game, both averaging over 400 yards per game. And I'll tell you, I was going to pick Western Kentucky. I was all over the Hilltoppers. I said they're going to win this game. And then their quarterback, Austin Reed, decided to transfer Austin Reed had thrown for over 4,200 yards, 36 touchdowns, and just 10 interceptions. He's gone. The other two quarterbacks on Western Kentucky's roster, Darius Ocean and Caden Veldkamp, they have combined for just 16 total pass attempts. So they're going to have an inexperienced quarterback under center for Western Kentucky. South Alabama, they have Carter Bradley, who's thrown for over 2,900 yards, 25 touchdowns. They have a rushing game to complement him that averages 166 yards per game. I think South Alabama's motivated. They won an 11-win season. They're angry they missed out on the Sun Belt Championship, missing out barely behind Troy. Give me the Jaguars and Kane Womack to get this win and clinch an 11-win season. Who would have predicted that back in the preseason? Again, I like this Western Kentucky team a lot, but the offense was thriving with Austin Reed. I think they're going to struggle a little bit with whoever's under center, whether it's Ocean or Veldkamp. I think the Jaguars get it done in New Orleans, close to the region as well, 11-win season. So there you have it, guys. There's your first 7 bowl predictions. And I know we kind of ranged a little bit from the first day, go a few days down the road. The video tomorrow is going to collect 6 games into one. 6 games into one to kind of briefly get through those. Starting Wednesday, individual videos for some of the best, biggest bowl games of the year. Again, we're here to predict them all, though. Every single bowl game will be predicted right here on the channel. And every spread pick for these games, how you should bet these bowl games, will be put out on our website, thegridironexpert.com. Again, that holiday special, only $29.99 over on the website. Go check it out. Sign up today. You get it for a full 3 months. We want you to become a part of our GE Nation, guys, so you can win with us this bowl season. So, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and, of course, check out everything down in the description below, including those expert picks over on the website, thegridironexpert.com. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.
Yeah.